The galaxy was vast, but it had grown small under the shadow of war. For centuries, humanity had been pitted against an alien collective known as the Dominion, a coalition of species united by their disdain for Earth's upstart civilization. Humanity's fleets were outmatched, their ships outdated and outnumbered. The Dominion offered no mercy, only demands, surrender or be annihilated. It was during this time of despair that a young engineer named Kale found himself aboard one of the many derelict battlecruisers humanity had salvaged from old wars. These relics were all Earth could muster after decades of defeat. Dubbed broken battleships by those who served on them, they were patched together with scavenged parts, makeshift armor plating, and desperate hope. Each vessel carried scars not just from battle but from years of neglect. Yet, these broken things became humanity's last line of defense. Kale wasn't a soldier. He hated violence. But when the call went out for anyone capable of keeping engines running or repairing weapon systems, he answered without hesitation. He knew his skills weren't meant for combat, yet here he was, crouched in the dimly lit engine bay of the Erebus Asterisk, surrounded by sparks and the hum of failing machinery. His hands moved deftly over circuits and wires, sweat dripping down his face as alarms blared somewhere above him. "Kale!" shouted Commander Lara, her voice sharp and urgent over the intercom. "We've got incoming. Can you get us moving?" "I'm trying," Kale yelled back, though he wasn't sure she heard him. The Erebus Asterisk groaned like a dying beast beneath his feet. Its reactor core flickered erratically, its power output dropping dangerously low. Around him, crew members scrambled to prepare for what seemed like certain doom. Outside the viewport, the cold void of space stretched endlessly, dotted with stars. And now, ominously, the shimmering silhouettes of Dominion cruisers. As the first salvo of enemy fire tore through the darkness, Kale felt something shift inside him. It wasn't fear, not entirely, it was anger. Anger at being handed scraps to fight with while others sat safely behind fortified worlds. Anger at the Dominion for treating humanity as if it were nothing more than vermin to exterminate. And most of all, anger at himself for thinking he couldn't make a difference. With renewed determination, Kale dove deeper into the ship's labyrinthine systems. He bypassed safety protocols, rerouted energy reserves, and jury-rigged solutions that would have made any seasoned mechanic cringe. Slowly, painfully, the Erebus Asterisk began to stir. Its engines roared to life, shaking off the lethargy of disrepair. But it wasn't enough. Even fully operational, the Erebus Asterisk was no match for the sleek, advanced warships of the Dominion. What chance did a single broken battleship have? Then inspiration struck. Kale remembered something he'd read about the Dominion's technology. Their ships relied heavily on interconnected networks. If one node failed, others nearby might follow suit. It was a vulnerability, but exploiting it required precision and a willingness to sacrifice everything. He sprinted to the bridge, where Commander Lyra stood grin-faced beside the helmsman. "I have an idea," Kale said breathlessly, "but it's risky." Lyra raised an eyebrow. "Risky is better than dead. Speak." Kale explained his plan. Overload the Erebus Asterisk reactors, creating a massive electromagnetic pulse, EMP, that would disable every Dominion ship within range. The catch: the Erebus Asterisk itself would be destroyed in the process. Everyone aboard would need to evacuate beforehand. For a moment, silence hung heavy in the air, then Lyra nodded. "Do it." The evacuation was chaotic but efficient. Lifeboats launched into the void, carrying survivors away from the doomed ship. Kale stayed behind, working feverishly to set the final sequence. As the Dominion fleet closed in, their weapons trained on the lone, crippled battleship, Kale activated the EMP. A brilliant flash of light erupted from the Erebus Asterisk, engulfing the surrounding space in a wave of energy. When the glare faded, the Dominion ships floated lifeless, their systems fried. Cheers erupted from the escape pods as the crew watched their enemies rendered powerless. Kale ejected in the last remaining pod, narrowly escaping the blast. As he drifted among the wreckage, he felt a strange sense of peace. The Erebus Asterisk was gone, but it had taken the Dominion's arrogance with it. Word of the victory spread quickly. Across human-controlled space, people celebrated the triumph of the Silent Wrecker, as Kale came to be known. Though he didn't seek recognition, his actions inspired others to see potential in what had once been dismissed as useless junk. Broken battleships, long considered symbols of defeat, were reimagined as tools of resistance. In the months that followed, humanity rallied around Kale's example. Engineers and tacticians worked tirelessly to adapt old ships, turning their weaknesses into strengths. Guerrilla tactics replaced conventional warfare, allowing smaller forces to strike decisively before disappearing into the vastness of space. The Dominion, caught off guard by this unexpected resurgence, struggled to maintain control. Eventually, even the mighty Dominion had no choice but to acknowledge humanity's resilience. Delegations arrived, seeking negotiations rather than conquest. At the forefront of these talks stood Kale, not as a warrior, but as a symbol of ingenuity and defiance. When asked why humanity refused to give up despite overwhelming odds, Kale simply smiled. Because we learned how to fight with what they thought was worthless. They gave us broken battleships, and we turned them into legends. And so, the galaxy changed. No longer did humanity cower in the face of superior foes. Instead, they rose, armed with creativity, courage, and the unshakable belief that even the smallest spark could ignite a revolution. The Silent Wrecker's legacy endured, reminding all who heard the tale that sometimes the greatest victories come not from strength, but from the refusal to accept defeat.